Ok. Saba fericit? Is it okay if I say it to you in English today? I have at least one other child, I think, who doesn't understand in Romanian. And I know of a couple other people who'd like to hear it in English. O să spun în engleză pentru că sunt câțiva care au nevoie de traducere. How many of you, well, of the three of you here, do you guys want to do something important one day for Jesus? Yes? No?
Clean up.
Clean up. And do you want to become something important later on in life? Like maybe a doctor, or a teacher, or a nurse, or something else important? Yeah? I'm going to tell you about somebody who wanted to do something very important for the Lord. His name was Saul. Most of us probably know him as Paul. But he wanted to do something very special for the Lord. And his parents helped him out. They sent him to school, and the best teachers taught him. And guess what? He wasn't very old, and they already made him part of the most important council in Jerusalem. So this young man got to know some people. They called themselves Christians in his day. And these Christians, he thought, were teaching lies. So he decided that being part of this very important council, and because he thought they were teaching lies, he was going to impress his teachers and fight for the truth. But guess what? Even though he wanted to do something very important for the Lord, and he put his whole heart into it, one day the Lord stopped him. He was on his way to a city called Damascus. And he had decided to go there and make sure that all the people who he thought were teaching lies, he wanted to make sure they all went to prison and that their lying would not keep going on. On his way there, a big light shined down on him from the heaven. And he fell off his horse. He was riding a horse, you see. And he fell to the floor. And the Lord said, "Saul, why are you persecuting me?" And he didn't know who this was. And he said, "Lord, who are you?" And he said, "I am Jesus. I am the one who these people are preaching about. You are persecuting me by what you're doing." Now, isn't that funny? This man, this young man, wanted to do something important for who? Do you remember?
Jesus?
Yes. Only he didn't know it was Jesus he was trying to do something great for. He wanted to do something for God. And even though he was doing his very best and he had the best intentions, he had to be stopped by who? Who stopped him? Who was in that light that he saw on the road? Do you know? Do you know?
Jesus?
Yes. So he wanted to do something great for Jesus, and Jesus was the one who stopped him from what he was doing. Now, sometimes in life, we want to do something very, very good. But what we think is the best thing in life is not what Jesus thinks is the best thing in life. So, Saul, like you and I, was also surprised, and he said, "Okay, Lord, what do you want me to do?" And what do you think the Lord told him? Did the Lord tell him the whole plan from the beginning? Did he tell him, "Oh, Paul, well, I want you to stop persecuting my people, and I'm going to make you an evangelist for me. I'm going to send you far and wide, and I'm going to teach you what to tell those people, and a lot of people will follow me." The Lord didn't tell him that. He just said, "Go to the city, and I'll tell you what's next." And guess what Paul did? Do you think he went? He did. He did. And the Lord showed him step by step what God's plan was for him. And guess what? He no longer was a part of that council anymore. In fact, the people in that council started to hate him and try to make sure that he went to prison and stopped preaching what he was preaching. But Paul ended up writing many, many books, which we find today in the Bible. Why did I tell you this story? Because when God has a plan for each one of you, and he does, he's going to show you step by step what he wants you to do. And if at some point in your life, when you're growing up, the Lord stops you, even when you think you're doing the best thing for God, don't be disappointed. Because when he stops you and turns you a different route, he's got a bigger and better plan for you. And guess what? We still have the Bible today. But that council that he was a part of, that he was very proud of being a part of, ended up not doing anything for God. In fact, they ended up fighting on the wrong side. So whenever the Lord stops you and says, you need to go a different route, know that he has the best plans in mind for you. Thank you so much for listening. You can now go back to your seats.